going on, everybody? Welcome to the three-man power trip this week. Last week we talked about the NFL was going to release the schedule of all the games. So they've released that, and we're going to go through all of our teams, kind of try something new. I think we're going to focus more on our teams instead of every team.
Right, instead of the entire league, it's just so much to follow.
Yeah, and if there's like news and stuff, I mean, we'll still do that. If it's like major news about some other team.
But we won't go in depth with
No.
the other teams as much.
No.
But our teams are definitely we're going in depth with.
3 teams.
3 teams.
Yes, 3-man power trip, 3-team power trip.
So we're going to start going through the schedules. So this video, we're going to do the Minnesota Vikings 2020 schedule. Preseason games this year, they're playing the Texans, at the Bengals, at the Browns, and they're playing the Seahawks. So preseason games,
They don't really matter
No.
as far as the full scope of the things. I got them going 2-2 in the preseason. I think they win a couple, lose a couple.
like most teams. I mean, I put most teams at 2-2 during the preseason.
I got them going 3-1 with the only loss to Seattle.
I can see that. Like I said, your starters ain't
Yeah.
even playing, so
Yeah.
it doesn't even really matter, but it's just a little bonus. Preseason 2-2. So, on to the regular season.
Regular season, September 13th. They start the season against the Packers, and they're playing in Minnesota. 1 o'clock game. I got them winning this game.
I got them winning this game as well.
I do as well.
I think
He does as well.
I think it's in Minnesota. I think that's going to be the key difference. And I got them beating the Packers week 1.
Then week 2, they traveled to Indianapolis to play the Colts. I got them winning that game.
I agree.
I think we're all in agreement.
I don't know how Phillip Rivers is going to do with the Colts this year.
Especially if
I mean,
they want to be in the second game.
Right.
Of the season.
Yeah.
Second game of the season, I think you guys get that win, even though it's in Indy.
Then we moved to week 3 against the Titans in Minnesota. Titans were good last year. I expect a drop off this year a little bit from them.
I do too.
Everybody knows they want to run Derrick Henry.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know. I'm not really afraid of Tannehill.
Mm-hmm.
Come on now.
Oh, Tannehill.
I see Tannehill last year as kind of being like Keenum was for us a few years ago.
Right.
He had that one good year.
One hit.
Yeah. So.
I've got you guys losing that game.
Oh.
Wow.
Shaking it up a little bit. I got them winning.
Then next week we go to Houston to play the Texans.
This is a win.
Yeah, Texans are a dumpster fire.
Yeah.
I think they go from the playoffs to not
Middle
making the
of the pack.
playoffs at all.
Right.
They're on the bubble.
I got you guys winning as well and starting 4-0, so a real great start to the season.
No.
That's what I'm forecasting anyways.
Then the next week, I think it starts to get a little tough. Vikings go play the Seahawks in Seattle for a Sunday night game. I'm going to go ahead and give them a loss there.
I gave them a loss at that point. That's the first loss I have on.
It's a tough place to play.
That's the second one I've got. 3-2.
So I got you guys at 4-1 so far.
Then week 6, they play the Atlanta Falcons at home. I got them winning.
I got the
That's a
W
win.
there as well. The Falcons weren't super good last year.
They're one of those teams that are so up and down. One year they're good, next year they're not.
So you don't know what Falcons team is going to show up, but if it's anything close to what they put on the field last year,
28-3.
yeah, if it's anything that what they put on the field last year, I got you guys winning.
Uh-huh.
Following that, you guys get a bye week, so then
Yeah.
you'll get rested. But even with the rest, you're going at the Packers.
Yeah, and I had them beating the Packers the first game of the season. Now they're going to Green Bay. I think they lose this game.
I agree. Even with the extra rest, I just think there's something about the Packers. I don't think you guys go 2-0 versus them.
Unless by then Aaron Rodgers is mad and sitting on the bench.
Yeah, I mean, at that point, you never know. Anything can happen. But I got you guys losing there.
I got a win there.
Oh, wow.
2-0. 2-0.
I mean, I hope that's what happens.
Oh, I do too for you.
Then week 9, they play the Lions at home. I got to win there.
I got you guys winning as well.
I don't think Stafford's coming back, but there's problems there. Matt Patricia, I just don't think is a good coach. The next week is a Monday night game. Week 10, they go play at Chicago. I think they get the win.
I think it's going to be a tough win on the road, but I got them winning as well.
Run, Cook, run. I think they'll win that one.
Through those games, I got you guys at 7-2, so you're looking pretty healthy.
Uh-oh. Now the next game.
Through the first half
What's
of the
this
season.
next one coming up here, huh? What was that?
Cowboys at Vikings.
Week 11. It's in Minnesota.
It's in Minnesota. I already know what you're thinking. And you already know what I'm thinking.
I guess I'll be the tiebreaker.
Yeah, I got you guys losing to my Cowboys.
I got us winning. Now, if this was in Dallas,
Okay.
I might change my mind.
That makes sense.
But
I got the Vikings. I think it will be a close game.
Last year's matchup was really good. It was tick for tack. It was
Right down
it
to
was
the
right
last
down
drive,
to the
wasn't it?
yeah right down to the fourth quarter. So I could honestly see either team winning, but I got the Cowboys winning just because I think that you guys got us last year. I think we get you guys this year. Well, we'll see.
Yeah.
Them boys. It's all about them boys.
Then the next week, week 12, play the Panthers at home. So Teddy Bridgewater is going to be coming back to Minnesota to play.
It'll be interesting to see how that Panthers team is.
It's definitely going to be interesting. I got you guys winning there, but I agree with you. I don't know if the Panthers are going to be ready to really dominate.
I think they're a couple years off.
Right, I'm kind of thinking that as well. I got you guys.
The
winning there.
weird thing about this season, I think, is building that continuity with everybody. You know what I mean? Because they're not going to have a great off season. I don't think anybody's going to have a lot of time to practice.
Mm-hmm. The coronavirus.
I think they're just going to kind of get thrown into it, and
that might be what happens. Next up is the Jaguars going into our first December game.
I got that as a win.
Vikings are winning that game.
I got that as a win as well.
Uh-oh.
Week 13,
Brady
they go to Tampa Bay. This is it's so hard to judge this one because by week 13 I don't know how they're going to be. Or week 14.
Right, we don't know what the Buccaneers are really going to look like with Brady.
I got the Vikings losing this one.
I got you guys losing it as well.
I think now if this was an earlier, week 1 through 4, I'd probably give you a win.
I was hoping we'd get them earlier, but
yeah, because by that time Brady's definitely going to find some rhythm with his receivers in line and all that. So I got you guys losing there.
Then we got week 15.
Rematch with the Bears.
The Bears in Minnesota. I think Minnesota wins this one again. I think they sweep them this year.
I think you guys get the W there as well.
And I think either by then, I think Matt Nagy might be on his way out.
I agree with you. Christmas Day, only 5 days later.
Yes, this is what pains me. This is the first time I think the NFL's they've had a game on Christmas. It's usually an NBA thing. So.
Right.
Is this the only game that day?
I'm not sure. I haven't looked at other team schedules, but it's at the Saints. So that's going to be tough.
It's always tough to play there. Yeah, I know we've beat them the last few times, and it's a little bit of a rivalry going on. But that short amount of time, and then to travel to New Orleans, I'm going to say we lose, but I hope that's not the case.
I got you guys losing there as well.
I got you losing. Yeah. Now, if I could see if it's in the postseason, you guys win it.
Yeah. As weird as that is.
And then we finish out the season against the Lions.
That's a win.
In Detroit.
I got a W there as well.
Yeah, I do as well.
Sweeping the Lions and sweeping the Bears. 1-1 versus the Packers.
Yeah.
So I got you guys going 11-5 and winning the division outright.
I got us at 12-4.
I've got the same thing at 12-4.
I think they win the division.
But it's barely.
Yeah, it's a fight between us and the Packers.
That's kind of what I have too. I have the Vikings at 11-5, the Packers at 11-5, but I think you guys will get the tiebreaker. I think it's going to really be a tight season in the NFC North with the Vikings and Packers. Anyways, Bears at 7-9, Lions at 6-10.
I got the Bears at 8-8 and the Lions at 6-10.
I got Packers at 10-6, Bears at 8-8, and the Lions at 4-12.
Ooh,
4-12, terrible. I gave them 6 just because I think that they will get a couple, but you never know.
Is Trevor Lawrence coming to the Lions? Is that going to be the worst?
That might be it. Anyways, that's it for the Minnesota Vikings episode 1.
I got another idea to add on this.
Oh.
You guys want to do an offense and defense and MVP?
Oh, from each team?
From each team.
Okay, yeah, we can do that.
Something to add on to it.
Okay.
Who you got for Minnesota's offense?
Offense
Put me
this
on the
year.
spot.
Well, that's the best way to do it, isn't it?
Yeah. You don't got time to think. I'm going to say Dalvin Cook.
Shockingly, I'm going to say Kirk Cousins.
Really?
I think he has his best season.
I'm going to say Thielen.
Okay.
But write that down. See, we're right at the end.
Yeah,
Now we got
team
defense-wise.
I got Danielle Hunter.
That's who I got.
Yeah, Hunter. I'd
Yeah.
go with Hunter.
So,
Hopefully we'll see if we're
No.
right.
that's all for the Vikings.
Tune in to episode 2. It'll be a surprise.
Surprise.
Surprise.